Arsenal. This is why they will not win a title. Because the team to win a title, they lost against Nottingham Forest. They lost against Brighton. And they were going to win the title anyway. Man City were too far in front for Arsenal to win the title. And obviously, Arsenal could have won the title. They were 8 points clear of Man City in February. So I don't see why they couldn't have won the title. But now they have bottled the title. They've given it to Man City. Man City became champions when Arsenal lost to Nottingham Forest on Saturday. I mean, to be honest, Arsenal, they bottled getting into the Champions League last season. They've bottled the league, they've bottled the title this season. They were 8 points clear in February. How do you bottle the title when you're 8 points clear in February? They were 8 points clear in February. 8 points clear, and they still managed to bottle the title. Honestly, they actually bottled the title when they were 8 points clear in February. I can't actually believe it. Arsenal are just they could challenge for the title next season, but if they weren't going to win it this season, then they're probably not going to win it for a few years yet. This is probably not going to happen for another few years. But they, for a team that has been at the top of the table and not won it, Arsenal have done that for the most days, 248 days, and they still managed to bottle the title. They were 8 points clear in February, 8 points clear, and still managed to bottle it. They'd lost to Liverpool, they drew to Liverpool, they drew to West Ham, they drew to Southampton. If they'd drew Liverpool, if they'd have won Liverpool, won West Ham, won Southampton, they would have been miles clear. They'd have probably won the title. All they needed to do was win those 3 games, and they would probably have been alright for the title. But the thing is, Man City don't stop winning. And even though Arsenal should have won the title with that many points clear in February, I still think Man City are just dominators. No team, except from Liverpool, has ever stopped Man City from winning the title. Well, Chelsea in 2017. But in the last 4 years, the only team that has stopped stopped Man City from winning the title is Liverpool. And Liverpool were literally top of the league for the whole season. So, it's not Arsenal. It's not like Arsenal. They're a very good team. They are a very good team. And they've got a very good squad. Bukayo Saka, brilliant player. Martin Odegaard, he's becoming great as well. You've got Ben White. He's a good player. William Saliba. I think the reason why, and I know it's not a one-man team, probably one of the reasons why they didn't win the title is because William Saliba was not in the squad. That'll be one of the reasons why they lost the title. Because, honestly, I'm not saying it's a one-man squad. It is not a one-man squad at all. But I think, obviously, William Saliba did help them to win the title. William Saliba did help them to get to being first when he was injured for those games. He wasn't able to get them points, and that's probably where Arsenal stumbled a bit, and then they started falling apart. So yeah, I mean, if Arsenal aren't going to win the title this season, when are they going to win it? Because this season was this season. If, like, the football fans were saying, if Arsenal slip up now, they're not going to win the title for the next 5 years or so. And I think they're right because, well, football fans were not saying that, but most people would have been saying that like, if they if they didn't win the title, which they didn't this season, it's not going to happen again for another 5-6 years. Let's be honest, because Man City are just going to keep winning and winning and winning the Premier League. They're not going to let anyone else win it. It's just going to be Man City for the next 5 or 6 years. They're not going to let anyone else take the Premier League. Yeah, Arsenal have definitely bottled it, and yeah, I don't want to hear all this. Oh, Man City are too good. Man City are too good. We didn't bottle it. We didn't. But Arsenal bottled it. Arsenal did bottle it, and I don't want to hear any of that. I don't want to hear any of that saying that Man City are too good. Man City, Manchester City are one of the best teams of all time. And you were 8 points clear in February. 8 points clear. 8 points clear. There's no excuses for that. How do you go 8 points clear in February? Yeah, there's a long time to the season. February till May is like 4 months. But for you to be 8 points clear in February and bottle the title in May, they didn't bottle it in May, they bottled it in April. They only had 3 months left until May, and they still managed to bottle it. So I don't want to hear any of this. Oh, no, Man City are dead good. Man City is just Man City. They're just one of the best teams in the world. Arsenal. No one can stop Man City winning the league. You know, uh, we didn't bottle it. Man City just too good. No. Man. Yeah, Man City are a really good team, but 8 points clear does not excuse anything. Like, if you're gonna win the league, just win the league. Like, Man City was second until Arsenal started drawing those games. I think it was the 4-1 against City that really started to kick it off, because then Arsenal started to lose, draw. But yeah, I don't want to hear any of that. Saying that Man City just too good and that Arsenal tried their best. It's just not an excuse, really. And I mean, obviously, Arsenal, they did try their best. They did try their best, but it's not an excuse. But also Man City are one of the best teams in Europe. And yeah, it's obviously Man City are one of the best teams in Europe, probably the best team in Europe currently. But it's not an excuse, is it? It's just not an excuse. And Arsenal, since the Invincibles, they're not going to win a league now for another 6 years. Might take longer than that now, because last time they won the league was in 2005. The Invincibles. That's the last time they won the league. They haven't won the league since that. They've won a trophy since that, but they haven't won a league since that. They did atrociously last season. 5 games in and they were in the relegation zone. They'd lost 5-0 to City. They'd lost 3 games already and they were in the relegation zone. It wasn't looking great for them. They did atrociously last season. And although they could have got Champions League football, they bottled Champions League football last season. They didn't get it. And yeah, obviously Arsenal, they did have a good go at it this season. But now they're not going to win a Prem for another 4 or 5 years now. It took Liverpool 30 years to do it. It might take Liverpool another 30 years to do it. yeah, so yeah, it's gonna now take Arsenal at least 5, 6 years to do it. They're not gonna do it in the next 2 years because Man City are gonna dominate football for as I watched a Ben Foster football fill-in earlier on, and he said, "I think Man City will dominate football for the next 5 years." I think that is what's going to happen. Arsenal is going to take them at least 7 years plus to win a Prem title. This was their chance. This was their chance, and they bottled it. Yeah, so yeah, they did have a chance. They took it, and they blew the chance. So yeah, yeah. Honestly, what Ben Foster said earlier is probably true. That Man City will dominate football for the next 5 years, maybe 5, 6 years. It's it's obviously going to be Man City dominating football for the next 5, 6 years, maybe 7 years, maybe 8 years, maybe even 9 years. But I think Man City will dominate football for the next 5 years. It's going to be Man City at the top of the league every single year from now, and next season it'll be the same. Season after that it'll be the same. Season after that it'll be the same. It's going to take, as I said, it's going to take Arsenal at least another 4 or 5 years to win a league. If Man City is still like this in 5 years, maybe even 10 years, it could take them another 10 years to win the Prem. And I think that's my what that is my that's my that's what might happen. Yeah, I can't get my words out. I think that is what I think that's what might happen. Because Man City, they're just relentless. Anyway, if you enjoyed that video, you know what to do, which means like, subscribe, and turn post notifications on. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.